Welcome to Epic Elite Subversion. Level 28. I am now Epic Completionist. Woohoo! So, the Twist of Fate I'm using right now are Empyrean Magic, which, I just commented on my build post. This is a must. This one I'm absolutely set on. I mean, any enlightened spirit needs to have Empyrean Magic. And Rejuvenation Cocoon is great for self-healing, so that's the other one I'm totally set on. But, the other two, and it's going to be 3 as soon as I hit 30, I'm, still a little up in the air on. Fey Form gives me a little DR, gives me plus 15 universal spell power, which I think is a better option than just, compared to, like, the light spell power from Exalted Angel. If you're down to just one twist, I think that, Fey Form is a better option than the light, because Fey Form, you've got 3 different spell powers that it's boosting. It's giving plus 15 to your light, to your evil, and to your sonic, as opposed to this is just plus 30 to light only. But then again, the number, I probably should look at the number of times the light ticks versus the others. It may be a wash. But this does give you some DR as well, so that's really nice. And then I have Serenity, so that gives me 9 stacking spell resistance, so I'm up to 53 spell resistance. That seems pretty cool. I don't know how valuable that's really going to be, but I'm going to try to pay attention to that to see if it's worthwhile. And you can see my armor class is up to 160 and PRR 172, 109 MRR. So I'm pretty happy with my numbers. There's a lot of room to improve both of those with additional martial and divine epic past lives, so I could get let's see, I think it's 24 more AC for martial, and then I can't remember what the, let's see, what's the divine? It's 3 physical resistance per stack, so there's 6 more divine plus the 3 PDK, so that's 9 times 3 is 27 more PRR I could get from epic past lives and PDK past lives. So there's a lot of room for improvement just from past lives, plus I'm only level 28. Nothing has changed on the enhancement side. Everything is exactly the same. And the gear, I think I talked about Epic Lion's Mane. It's worth mentioning again because this is the quest that it comes from. In fact, this quest drops 4 really nice pieces of loot. There is there's a repeating, a repeater crossbow that's pretty nice. A lot of my guildie's been trying to get that lately. And then there's an orb that's, I think, made of gem. It's definitely not metal, so druids can use. I don't know if it's a particularly attractive orb, but I think druid casters should stick with shields because they can, but I know there are some druid casters out there that like orbs. But I like the Lion's Mane. As I think I talked about before, that I used to have resonance here, and that was giving me about another 100 sonic damage per burst. But I mean, there's so much. I've got the plus 4 insightful con. I've got the extra, the insightful false life. I've got insightful fortitude save, which is nice. Got the mythic on there as well. I'd love to get a mythic 4. So, for the tanky playstyle, I'm going to go with this, especially because I think I'm going to need every last hit point and defensiveness to accomplish my goal of tanking the Epic Elite Red Dragons in Fire on Thunder Peak, which I think that is going to be my next video. Maybe one more. So we're on the final approach. And then, the Epic Eagle Eye is part of a 2-piece set with the Lion's Mane, that you get plus 2 quality bonus to Constitution if you wear them both. And I actually just changed over to using that 2-piece set on my favorite soul. I was using the Epic Litany of the Dead on my favorite soul, but it was causing a negative level because my favorite soul is lawful good. It causes a negative level if anybody who's aligned good is wearing it. And it can still be worthwhile to wear it, but with the set bonus of those two, getting that extra con and all the other goodies, I felt it was a better option to go with the 2-piece set bonus on that particular tune. I won't be using the 2-piece set bonus on this tune because I do like the Litany of the Dead. And, if you're not familiar, this whole pack the Devil's Gambit. It has a 6-piece set bonus. You can see it's the Devil's Handiwork, and this is sort of like an upper end, you know, sort of like what your Chrono set is to level, 5 tunes or whatever. I can't remember what level that stuff is. This is like sort of an epic version that is all bound to account. So this is the kind of thing that you ought to grab a whole set and just put it in the bank. And, you make a new tune. It gets to epic levels. It doesn't have a lot of good gear. You throw it on there. It's relatively easy farm, and it's just a really quick way to gear up your tune, and you get that +3 quality bonus to all stats if you're wearing 6 pieces. There's actually 8 total pieces. 2 of them are daggers, the slice and dice, but more than likely, any given tune you make is not going to be a dagger wielder. So I really don't like that, unless you're a dagger wielder, you're forced to wear all other 6 pieces of the set. It would have been nice if there was a little bit of leeway, maybe like the Chrono set, they could have done like a 4-piece set bonus and a 6-piece set bonus. Chrono's 3 and 5, or at least include one more piece so that we weren't forced to wear every last thing of the set. That we had a little bit of wiggle room, but it is what it is. If you could get mythics on all those too, that would be huge. Enough about gear, or at least enough about the gear that comes from this pack. I just got Intelligence 11, Evocation Focus, Insightful Evocation 2 on there. It's just something better than, I can't even remember what I was using there before. It was nothing special, but I do have a nice set of goggles for endgame. I should have got them out of the bank so I could show you. Just new random gen stuff. It's awesome. Everything else is the same as it has been. Yep. Okay. Do this. So I was just on DDO cast this past weekend, and it was the 2015 year in review, and I gave the year a pretty low score. I gave it a 4.9 out of 10, and that was because when the producer letter came out, last year for 2015, I was so excited. I had just giant expectations. I was so excited, more excited than any other year. Temple of Elemental Evil sounded like it was going to be amazing, and just Legendary Shroud and all this great stuff. And my expectations and my hopes were so high, so I gave it a low score because I just feel like most of it was a letdown. I do feel like TOEE, it was fun the first time, but I haven't really touched it since it first came out, since that first week or so. It's just too long for me to even want to step in there. There's nothing I want out of the crafting system, and I don't, some of the loot in there is pretty good, but there's nothing I want from my tunes. So it's just, I'm not even stepping foot in there because, for me to want to go in there and spend that kind of time, I want something that I can get out of it. And there's just, I don't know, it's just not exciting to me. And I feel like it was that dungeon was, we got quantity but not quality, and I'd like to see more emphasis put on quality as opposed to quantity. And then Legendary Shroud and Green Steel for me was a big letdown because I had such high expectations, and I just feel like the care that needed to be given to make Shroud legendary and Green Steel legendary, which is just such an awesome, probably the best crafting system in the game, at least definitely for that level range. And then Shroud is this beloved raid in this game that just sort of really needed to be done with great care and respect, and I just don't see that. And so just lots of disappointment for me. I am looking forward to 2016, so I'm gonna stay optimistic. I'm not trying to say I'm quitting DDO and it sucks now or something. for me, 2015 was disappointing. But one of the things I said on DDoCast was that this quest was my favorite quest of 2015. And there's really nothing particularly special about it. It's just, I think it's a beautiful quest. It's very attractive looking. I love the sort of museum of artifacts that are, from throughout the game. I think that's a really nice tribute to all, so many other quests and packs and things. I thought that was really neat, and they did some other kind of new things like these illusionary boxes. Like that was kind of neat. I remember coming here that first time and I was like, oh, what's going on here? I thought that was cool, and so it was a lot of fun the first time. It's a beautiful quest. It's a great tribute to older content. There's 2 crests back there in those boxes, and then that will get us to the next zone. The slads too, just gorgeous, just beautifully done, especially the green slads. I mean, I think they all look great. We only saw red and green in here, but they brought blue out in update 29. But especially the green slad is just so cool looking. So that I thought they did a really nice job on that. And the loot, even though there's not really a whole lot I want out of this pack, like I was saying, I do think that 6-piece set is real nice for new people. Somebody needs high-end gear, and they need it relatively quickly without having to run a ton of raids. They can just get the set out of here. I think that that was a good addition from that standpoint. So here, if you haven't run this quest, there's some more illusionary boxes or crates that we have to wind our way through. There's some levers that open up certain gates, and they're not real obvious. So this was another thing that I liked about the first time I did it. We sort of had to figure things out, look around. Okay, we pulled a lever. What the heck are we supposed to do now? Oh, this little gate opened way over here. So it's sort of like I was saying. There's not any one thing I can point to that is the reason this is my favorite quest of the year. It just was a nice package. It's not even a long quest. It's a pretty quick quest. Pull that lever, and then I still forget. I've probably only run this quest maybe 15 times since it's come out. So here's the chaos orb from down in the the subterranean, or all kinds of different quests have them, like Zorian Cipher, Madness Chain has them. Get all these little other artifacts. There's like little scorpion monuments from, I guess that's Sorrow Dusk or something. There's the book from no, not Bastion. Genesis Point. I don't even know what all this stuff is. Like that sword, I don't really recognize that sword, but here's like a little shrine to the Devourer. This is obviously from Necro and Splinter Skull, and this is actually from the previous pack, the Archon's Trial pack. There's a lot of neat little stuff, and then the D20 here. Oh, I remember coming here that first. It just made me laugh out loud when we saw that. A giant D20. You got the little Vol statue and another Devourer thing. Just really cool collection of stuff in here. So you could see the defenses are just awesome. Not even really using Sleet Storm. You can use it if you feel like it, but I just feel feel really good about where the defenses are, able to take on huge groups of mobs like I like to play. So now we gotta come over here. That last switch opened that up. And we're gonna wind our way through some of these boxes and then pull another lever. And we're pulling these levers to light up the signal crystals that are around this door. You can see there's one more that's unlit. And on that last lever, open that gate, wind our way through these crates. Some of them are illusionary, and you can't tell from the outside. Look here, they're transparent when you're back here. But when you're on the outside, you can't tell that. They, however, programmed it so that you can't see that there are illusionary crates back there. Or maybe it's just because they're the inside, you know. So the point is that from the outside, you can't tell that some of them are illusionary. Or at least not very obvious anyways. So it was a neat little trick that they pulled on us. Oh, I forgot to mention, shoot. So over here, there is a secret door, like right here. You need a high search to get it, like a rogue or an arty or whatever. There's a chest there, it's locked. There's nothing else in the room, it's just a locked chest. It was just some, just some trash loot. Which trash loot, randomly generated loot right now is pretty damn good. But that's another subject. I'm not even going to go there. Because I'm pretty sore about it. Maybe in my next video I'll talk about that. Because I've already bashed enough of DDO for today. So there's 3, there was one little valve, little tiny valve here, and a valve there, and valve here. Now this will unlock this valve. And then this is an optional back here. Just a red name salamander. Test it out. What is it called? The scale mail of the celestial sage. That's what I'm using on this tune, and I tested it out on Ginger because it's beautiful armor. And probably should save this discussion. I'll save the discussion for when I make a video on Ginger. But I really would like to see a path to use that. It's really the DR that I'm missing from. If I get rid of the Shadow Dragon plate, I don't have another way to get good DR, and it's important to me. But I'll talk more about that in another video. Right now, let's talk about Voodu. I will say though that I'm very pleased that I can once again tank the Epic Elite Fire and Thunder Peak Red Dragons on Ginger, even through the big buff. After the balance pass and the previous reduction of PRR that happened earlier in the year, those things, it just pushed the needle over to where Ginger could not stay toe to toe with the dragons when they had the big artifact overdraw 400% buff. That was depressing. But now the level cap is 30, and got new feats and stuff. She can once again hang with those dragons through the whole raid, so that's pretty cool. And like I said in the video, I already posted the video of that. I do realize that most people are just going to kite the dragons around during that time, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with doing that. But it is a fun goal for me to try to do that. Now, one thing that I haven't noticed is if it's the same number of these guys that animate each time. Sometimes it just feels like more of them activate than others. I really wish the whole room would, on EE, the whole room would come alive and you have to fight all of them. That would be so freaking awesome. It's got a few breakables over here. And then there's an optional we can do. There's a lever we can pull to open up that wall. And we're going to go back here through some more illusionary boxes. And I'm not real good at finding my way through this, so bear with me. And there's a ladder along the back wall that I'm looking for. Oh, there it is. It's not on the back wall. It's sort of in the middle. Okay. And then there's like a secret lounge up here where all the cool mobs hang out. Okay, that just takes me out. Where are you? What did I miss? There's another set of illusionary boxes I think that I'm missing. Oh, dear. Okay, so here's the cool smoker's lounge right here. Pull that lever. And then you can jump up here too as a little fight. I don't think there's really any point doing this. But it's here. Maybe it gets you to Conquest or something, I'm not really sure. There's nothing else over here though, as far as I can tell. So now this wall's open. Come back here, pull some levers, and then fight a bunch of mimics. See if we can fight them all at once, because that is the most fun. Hell yeah. Piece of cake. Ooh, cool shield for a lightning caster. Now we go to the end fight. Look at him. He's so freaking amazing looking. I just wish that he had like a tongue attack and he could like swallow halflings whole. That'd be so cool. See, look at that. Not using any CC here whatsoever. In fact, I don't even, my displacement wore out. So, I mean, this is, and I'm still holding up. That's exactly where I want it to be. I realize most warlocks are going to think that's overkill, and for most people it's going to be. I totally get that. But you know that I'm trying to make this tune super tanky. So the point being is I'm not reliant upon, you know, the CC and displacement to keep me alive. Those are certainly nice to use, but you know, if they wear out, it's not an emergency. That's that. I'm not going to loot the chest on video because I'm going to call my guildies in to help me loot it. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions about my videos, you can respond on YouTube. If you have questions about the build I'm doing, the link to my build post is in the description of all of the Voodu Warlock series videos. And if you happen to be on Sarlona, you are welcome to send me a tell and say hi.